What is up, all National Wrestling Shooters? This is Scott Kesey Gale, the owner and chairman of the National Wrestling Shooters. Today, I'm going to give you my recap and review of Lucha Underground Season 3, Episode 13, entitled Breaker of Bones. And it was yet another fantastic episode. A lot of matches with Pentagon Doc tonight. He was pretty awesome tonight. Okay, let's begin with the recap, shall we? Tonight's show opens with a video chronicling the storyline history of Pentagon Doc and Black Lotus. The opening scene of the show has Pentagon Doc being confronted by his former mentor Vampire behind the scenes at the temple. He tells Pentagon that he has to pay for his former sins, that even if he walks out of the garden alive, that is just because Vampire is no longer Pentagon's manager. He hasn't forgotten what he did to him. Pentagon Doc gives Vampire the cereal symbol and walks away from him. We are now inside the temple. Matt Striker welcomes the audience to the show. Matt recaps what took place at Aztec Warfare 3 between Pentagon Doc and the Black Lotus tried. Every time Matt turns to Vampire to comment on the garden match, Vamp refuses to respond, stays silent, and doesn't join Matt in hyping the match. Gauntlet match. The Black Lotus, Triad, Doku, and Hitoki versus Pentagon Doc. Pentagon Doc is introduced first. He starts up the match with Doku. She enters the ring with a leather jacket draped over her, and her arms crossed. Unique entrance of even confuses Pentagon. Matt Striker tries to give Vampire to comment on the match and give background on Doku. Instead, Vampire gives an analogy warrior asking a monk the difference between heaven and hell. When he doesn't obtain the knowledge that he seeks, the warrior realizes that not knowing is hell. Striker responds to Vamp's cryptic message and asks if he is a threat towards Pentagon. Vamp responds by saying to Matt, just watch the match. Doku shows Sailmendo towards Pentagon. She calls him to meet her in the center of the ring. They start exchanging strikes. Doku gets the better of Pentagon. He is reading to the corner but bounces out and hits a great-looking drop kick that stuns Doku. She gets back to her feet and charges at Pentagon. Unloads several chops and forearms on him. She then tries to run at Pentagon Doc again and gets hit with a very stiff super kick in the face, which was brutal. Doku is on the mat, writhing in pain. Pentagon Doc goes on the offense and chops the hell out of her. Throws Doku to the outside. Pentagon takes his aggression on to Doku on the outside. The crowd is firmly behind Pentagon. Doc as he beats Doku down. Pentagon press slams Doku over his head and then drops on her face first on the ring apron. Pentagon then picks up Doku and throws it in the barricade at ringside. The beating continues. Pentagon takes Doku out into the ring and delivers some stiff kicks. Doku actually rallies at one point and spares Pentagon. She goes to the top rope and delivers a flying elbow drop on Pentagon Doc. She goes for a second one, and when she lands, gets caught in Pentagon's armbreaker submission. Pentagon Doc breaks Doku's arm, and the ref calls for the bell. Pentagon Doc defeats the ref by stoppage due to the arm being broken. Oh, Pentagon Doc is brutal. Don't want to mess with him. Back from the break. 1 down, 3 to go for Pentagon Doc. Back from the break, Jeremiah is backstage at the temple lifting weights. He is approached by Katrina. She mockingly says that it is a shame of what happened to Jeremiah's girlfriend, Evilise. Jeremiah finds it interesting, and Evilise was injured after challenging Katrina to a match at Ultima Lucha. Katrina sneaks up behind Jeremiah and starts speaking seductively. Jeremiah starts going into a trance-like state. Katrina says that she is responsible for bringing Jeremiah to the temple. She starts touching him and says he is not in love with Evilise, that Jeremiah is in love with her. She points out as a proof that Jeremiah is wearing a piece of Katrina's stone around his neck, an item he stole from her past. Katrina tells Jeremiah that she is in love with someone else. She then gives him the look of death. Back at the temple, Pentagon Doc is waiting for the next number on Black Lotus Triad. He grabs the mic and in Spanish says, that is not important how many members of the tribe that there are. That he will break all their arms. He then swears to Black Lotus after he is done with the tribe, he is going to break her arm in two. Got in the match, Pentagon Doc versus Yuri. Melissa Santos does the introduction for the next phase of the Gauntlet match. When the show returns, the action begins. Pentagon and Yuri exchange several arm drags to start off. Yuri then knocks Pentagon to the outside and performs a beautiful looking crossbody off the top rope and onto Pentagon. She then gets a round of applause from the believers. Yuri takes flight to Pentagon to the outside. She throws him into the walls surrounding the temple, rams his head into wooden chairs at ringside repeatedly. Yuri then brings Pentagon to the broadcast table. She then grabs the ring bell and hits him over the head with it. Yuri continues to use her onslaught on the outside. Pentagon starts battling back. They start exchanging strikes. The action ends up back in the ring. Yuri tries to kick Pentagon. He counters and gets her in the ankle-lock submission. Yuri refuses to tap out and gets to the ring ropes. Pentagon Doc is in now full control and starts beating down Yuri. She eventually rallies and hits a Hurricane Run on Pentagon. She heads to the top rope and hits a double foot stomp on him. It leads to a 2 count. Yuri then hits around the road DT on Pentagon. She then tries to leap into Pentagon. He catches her in mid-air and nails up the package pile driver. This sets up Pentagon, breaking Yuri's arm, and the ref calls for the bell. Pentagon Doc defeats Yuri by ref stoppage due to an being broken. Ooh, man, this guy's crazy. Man, this Pentagon guy is crazy. Crazy guy. Crazy match. Back from the break, Mantanza is in his cell in the temple. He is slamming his hands against the wall. His brother Dario approaches him, tells him that he should be ready to get the Lucha Underground Championship back next week. Mantanza tells Dario no. Dario tries to convince Mantanza to go after the LU title, but Mantanza refuses. Dario asks Mantanza what he wants. He yells Mysterio. The camera pans away from Mantanza's cell, and on the wall written in blood is Rey Mysterio's question mark symbol. Gauntlet match number 3. Pentagon Doc versus Hitoki. The Gauntlet match continues. Hitoki's name translates to assassin in Japanese. Hitoki starts off the next phase by the Gauntlet by hitting Pentagon with a missile drop kick off the top rope.